I could have sworn it was 1 o'clock Eastern. I got all set. I was all ready. I was moving around
Ah,
fast, and then there's no one here. What the hell's going on? I was drunk.
ah. All
All
right.
right, so I'm ready whenever you are.
All right. We are live on YouTube, so go right ahead, young man.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? What's happening? It's Rev Wayne Stills for Miracles Everywhere. This
Oh,
is
it was
the
1 o'clock Eastern. And
oh,
also,
I think I'm hearing something in the background there. No, not anymore. So it's good to be here, and today we're doing Joseph Benner, the Impersonal Life. And with me and Lynn Johnson. She is the boss around here. She's the king, the queen, whatever you want to call her. And it's always a pleasure to read this book with her. It's the Spirit channel by Joseph Benner. For a long time, no one even knew he wrote it. He wasn't exactly looking for any kind of fame or anything like that. He was just a channel, very similar or exactly the same as Helen. So we'll be back in. I'm back in a minute. I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna play the lesson, just to get into the spiritual mood, and then I will play a small snippet of comedy, just laughing, and then we'll start with the impersonal life. Impersonal life, as in God is the same for everybody. God is not, I like these people better than those people. I like that better than this. God is, it doesn't mean that God is not intimate. It just means that God is individualized. Of course, it's individualized. So God is practical, God is individualized, God is personalized. He's just not, he's impersonal in the sense that he's not, he doesn't favor, no favoritism. No, I have more than you. I'm better than you. I'm a master. You're not. Call me Master Wayne. Well, I'm Reverend Ryan because that's more of a handle than anything else. I'm sure I can marry people and I took classes and I studied the Bible and so forth. But so what? Compared to other people who really are reverend, they went to school for 10 years. And so, yeah, it's the years, the course. Maybe I have more. Who knows? But so what? It's a handle. Maybe if I was with Brother Wayne, I could easily been that. Who cares? Master Wayne. What do you think that would be? Anyhow, let's get to today's lesson. Lesson 139.
Lesson 139. I will accept atonement for myself. Here is the end of choice. For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail the single, simple question, what am I? Yet who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived. To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is it he doubts? Whom does he question? Who can answer him? He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. If he asks as if he does not know, it merely shows he does not want to be the thing he is. He has accepted it because he lives, has judged against it and denied its worth, and has decided that he does not know the only certainty by which he lives. Thus he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it is has been denied by him. It is for this denial that you need atonement. Your denial made no change in what you are, but you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. You are yourself. There is no doubt of this, and yet you doubt it. But you do not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it is possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness. Yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Nothing the world believes is true. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. And they will come again until the time atonement is accepted, and they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not to be aware of what you are. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show that you believe the contradiction, that you know not what you cannot fail to know. Is this a question, or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. We have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us. Fail not your brothers, or you fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, that they may know that they are part of you and you of them. This does atonement teach, and demonstrates the oneness of God's Son is unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is. Today, accept atonement not to change reality, but merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. 5 minutes in the morning and at night we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when he created us like him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one. And in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. In thanks for all creation, in the name of its Creator and His oneness with all aspects of creation, we repeat our dedication to our cause today each hour, as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. For several minutes let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness, as you say, I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me.
That is such a stunning lesson. I'm just sitting here in awe listening to these words. And especially when it's so, so very beautiful because it's all about how we get along with our brother, how we can only accept the atonement along with our brother, not by ourselves. And so
Absolutely. That's great. It's a great lesson. It's a great lesson. It's a real lesson. I mean, generally I didn't want to talk about it because I could go on for hours about that lesson. That's and then we never get to the book. We never get to the impersonal life, But it's one of those lessons where it's to the point. It's as terse. It's almost as terse as he is in the impersonal life.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? In that lesson.
absolutely.
And he's poetic, he's poetic, he's very poetic at the same time,
Yes, yes.
which I like. Yeah. Well, look, let me play this little snippet from Pete Holmes, and then we'll go.
Okay.
All right,
Sounds good.
this is kind of a comedy, a little levity, just to lighten things up. He's so I call him a spiritual comedian, I guess you can call him. He's a funny guy. He's, he's a little raw, but he's funny, and he talks about things that all of us could appreciate. I guess you can say. This is called wait, familiar. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Pianos. I put that. I put some. I put it somewhere else. From the other, everyone sleeves Shakespeare. That's how we did it last time.
Yeah, while you're looking at, I posted in the chat this paragraph or part of a paragraph that just really stood out to me
All
and
right.
almost made me cry here.
Uh,
Uh,
I read it.
there we go. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you read it? Well, I'm looking.
All right, I'll read it. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, if I don't find out something to read it, then we'll start the book.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So from it's just a part of a paragraph. It says, "We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when He created us like Him. We can remember it for everyone. For in creation are all minds as one, and in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth. How
Yes.
much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and
Yes.
how our Father's love contains them all."
Yeah, the seed and the potential. Yeah, I like how he gets is the equivalent to what he's saying when he says you're actually asking a question when you make a statement that you're not here. Or why? How did I get? What am I? The seed of goodness is there no matter what.
That's right.
The seed of love between you and your neighbor is always there. The seed of
Yeah. And our neighbor wants it. They, no matter what you may think about, how you may judge them, they want the peace of God. Everyone wants the peace of God. So, and they want, they're doing what they can to get it. I don't know what's the right way to do anything. I'm just here to be truly helpful, whatever it may be. And so are they. They may not know it. They may know it, and it may be part of their mode of operation. However, it doesn't matter because the fact is we're all here for the same purpose. And, God wants us to remember who we are. Come on back home. Come on home. All right, I'll let you play your thing and if you got it set up. You're not sharing. Wayne, there's no sound.
how's that?
No. Oh, I hear you now.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I had it on mute the whole time. I don't know. But when did I go out?
You didn't say a word. I was saying, Wayne, there's no sound. Could you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you something saying, but I was talking for a while before I heard you say that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Sorry. So, hey everyone, back. All right. Last, I don't remember where we were at the last thing I know you were talking about, and that was what I was saying was the relationship between people is always there. The goodness and perfection of the relationship between people is always there, and that's what the part that you read.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
That's where it was coming from. That they always see the goodness and love that's always there between your relationship with others.
That's right. That's right. And there's nothing else.
Right.
No matter what motive you may assign to another ego,
Exactly.
their whole purpose is all the whole purpose of the whole sonship is to come back together.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Exactly.
all.
And so the example I gave was for 5 minutes there is that if you look at the story of Joseph and his dream coat, they thought they were doing terrible things, throwing him into the pit, leaving him
Yeah,
there, selling him as slaves, and everything he did, God had a divine plan and moved it. I mean, it's iffy to think, all right, we can do whatever we want, but whatever we want is always on God's GPS, God's positioning system. It's always moving according to His divine timeline. As remember that Donnie Darko.
yes. Oh
Remember,
yeah.
you remember the God's divine timeline.
Yep.
So they move according to His divine timeline. Everything works out perfectly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they could not step out of they tried, but they could not step outside of God's time
Nope.
line. Yeah, they couldn't. Every choice they made was moving them closer and closer towards their destiny,
Yeah.
towards his
Yeah.
destiny, which is Joseph's destiny. And then he was with the woman who blamed him for, and then he got to the jail, which was never they got in touch with the king and the dream, and everything worked out for him. All because his brothers didn't like him.
Yeah.
I mean, it all started
Yeah.
25 years earlier, 30 years earlier, when his brothers didn't like him because of a big dream coat.
Yeah. And he would be giving them food. That's an
Yeah,
amazing story. That entire
yeah,
story is amazing.
that's great. It just covers everything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean,
Yeah.
he has his father favors him, so favoritism, so favoritism from dad to the younger son. had her in her mother's old age. So, so she's the younger son, and they all hate him, so they throw him into a pit.
Yep.
And then, oh no, look what happened. Let's sell him. We can make some money off it.
Yeah.
So
Sell him as
they
a
sell
favor.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, then he's shipped off, and he's bought and sold, lied on, thrown into the jail, and then double the amount of time he's supposed to come out. And the next thing you know, he's somebody dreams, and he's made leader of the free world.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's like, oh, I can interpret these dreams, and he went and interpreted the dreams,
Yeah.
and the Pharaoh did what the dreams, or the king did what the dreams said, and they were survived. It was like a 21 years, like 7 years of famine,
Yeah,
and
right,
you
exactly.
know,
Yeah.
anyway, they survived through all that, and then at the end, when not necessarily the end, but the end of that particular story, the father and the brothers came begging for
Yeah,
food
yeah, exactly.
because of the famine that had happened, which he had predicted the famine, and they had saved up enough grain so that they could survive and were able to help out their neighbors too. But his brother and his father, it came to, ask for help, not even knowing it was their brother
And
in charge of all this.
they were going to come. They thought of them.
Yeah, and they expected they were going to get thrown in prison. They
Yeah,
expected that they were going to be punished. And instead he was like, "Oh, my brothers, my father, come, come hang out, I'm a rich guy now." And I mean, really, that's
yeah.
why, because no matter what happened, he didn't say this is the end. He
Oh
just
no, he was happy to see them. He said, "Oh my God, this is so long. Good to see you." He's happy to see them. I'll tell you, I can see why they would be. They overreacted to the brothers. I mean, he comes down and says, "Oh man, one day, y'all gonna bow down before me." I can, I can see them say, "All right, come on, kid. Give me a break." But they overreacted. Throw him into a pit. It's a little bit different. It's just too much,
yeah,
a little too much. And then they could have just said, "So, Dad, could you tell him shut up?" That kind of thing would be a little bit more apt. But those days things were tougher, I guess.
yeah. Oh yeah, people did some weird stuff. I mean, just the whole idea of selling your brother into slavery.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, that's
When,
outrageous. We think about slavery. Oh my God, what a horrible thing. Back then, it was like, okay, I'm sick of you. Go over here and be a slave to this person. And
I guess it's sort of like nowadays it'd be sort of like kicking someone out of the house at 16 years old.
yeah, yeah,
You're like, all right, get out of the house, make a man of yourself. Get out of the house, and you're on your own now. Just sort of similar, similar to slavery. You know, and the kid's 15, so the father throws out of the house. You know what I mean? It's on their own. It's the kind of the slaves in the system.
yeah,
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 yeah. It is. Yeah, it is. You're right, Wayne.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you're a dad. You know what that's like.
yeah.
My kids. What was it? We were. What was that? Oh, we were talking today earlier in another meeting, and we're talking about the mother and being the mother, and how long are you babying your children? Well, my kids call me every day, and they're asking me. My son is 51, call me every day, ask me this, tell me that, sending me little videos, stuff, this and that. We are like, I can't even imagine not
Do you,
having.
do
And
you still imagine ways to die on a regular basis? Didn't you used to do
yeah,
that? Yeah, that's the best thing. I wish I had done that growing up.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's what I mean. I literally wish I had done that growing up.
yeah.
Because then you're sort of like the peace level you would have with death were way up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
You know what I mean? And then the peace with everything else was way up. That's the main God. That's the main enemy
yeah, yeah.
is our fear of death.
It's so crazy too because that's we always talk about it as being a peaceful thing. He's at peace now. They're in peace now. Well, why wouldn't you want to be in peace now? I mean, obviously, death is not real, and the body itself has really nothing to do with what we are. It's just a vessel that's used for specific purposes. And the fact we don't know what those purposes really are, we're just here doing it.
That's right.
It is Joseph Benner is telling us, as Jesus is telling us through Joseph Benner, there is a purpose for what we're doing here.
Right.
There is a purpose, and so I don't know. You want to go ahead and let's just start looking at the book.
Sure.
Okay, and
Well,
then
were you saying something about that I cut you off?
no, no, you did it. All right, we'll go get the book. I just was gonna ask if you found that. What's the guy's name? The comedian you were gonna show or play? I can't think either. All right, can you see it up on your screen? Are you muted? No, you're not muted. I should be able to hear you. Okay, all right. So I'll start reading. Okay. Let me see. Where do we start? I've got this marked. Oh, no, this is not where I have it marked. That's why it's looking like I started. Okay, here we go. All right, this makes more sense. All right, here we are. Sorry, everybody. Okay, we are in chapter 18. And just make sure that I'm going through on Pal Talk right as well. Sometimes that doesn't work. Okay, there I should be broadcasting on Pal Talk also. All right, here we go. So, chapter 18, Union. You who truly wish to consecrate yourself thus to me and are willing to give your whole life to me, putting aside all personal ideas, hopes, and aims, in order that I may freely and fully express through you my impersonal idea. Okay, so here we're talking about what's the purpose, right? So that I may freely and fully express through you my impersonal idea. Listen carefully to these words. I have led you through. Let me close. Oops. What do I do in here? Trying to close this down so I can read. I have led you through all your experiences of life up to just this point. If you are now really ready and willing to serve me and have learned that you of yourself can know nothing and can do nothing, and that I am, and what you call your intelligence and your strength and your substance are really mine, and that it is I who direct all your thoughts and both cause and enable you to do all that you do. This is not this is some big stuff here, right? Okay,
This is very heavy duty. I mean, it's hard, but it's the I am that's being talked about here.
yeah, yeah,
It's not is you, but it's not the I you walk around. We don't normally talk from that I.
no,
We speak from, and we're confused by it. The way we speak, write it, is we always write capital I, always. But in truth, when we speak from the I, we're speaking from the ego's I. Normally, most of us are always speaking from the ego. So that when I say I am, the Rocky, I'm Rocky. I am. That I am not. I'm not the obvious I am. I am, shaking my body. That's the, I am everything that I see, everything that I'm attached to in this world, I am not. Everything that I think I am not. And that's what he's saying here. If you, if, I mean, if you truly wish to consecrate yourself to me, not yourself, not you, not anyone else around you, not trees, not the bushes, me. You're willing to give. Not the dream, not the dream. As the course says earlier, the world's not made up of trees and bushes and buildings and money and stuff like that. Nothing like this.
Yeah. So that purpose that we're talking about, and all the trials and tribulations that we're experiencing or think we're experiencing, this is all part of the play.
Oh,
Uh,
but yeah, it's all part of all part of the showbiz thing. It's all showbiz.
yeah, yeah,
It's all
yeah,
spectacular. It's all spectacular. It's all rock and roll. It's all pop music. It's all theater.
yeah.
And when
Experiencing.
and his body is welcome to participate in that theater in that game.
Yeah,
Is plunge yourself into it. So long as you don't get so excited, you forget again and again and again. This is a freaking dream.
yeah. Well, what happens is that because we for a lot of reasons don't fully experience the experience we're here to have. And I don't know well, I do know how to express it. I can't experience, let's just say, eating a piece of chocolate cake. I mean, I can experience eating a piece of chocolate cake. I would love a piece of chocolate cake. I can imagine it in my mind. I can think about the way it tastes and feels and everything about it, right? But when I'm experiencing having a piece of chocolate cake, am I experiencing having a piece of chocolate cake, or am I experiencing thinking, this is not on my diet? I wonder, how much sugar is in here. I shouldn't be eating this because I should have saved it for someone else. There's like all kinds of guilt. And there's fears of it's going to make me fatter, or like that's a big deal. Whatever it is, guilt is coming along. I'm not enjoying that piece of cake like I should be enjoying that piece of cake. So later I want another piece of cake because I didn't enjoy the piece of cake I had the first time.
Well, some says you're tasting your mind.
Yeah,
You're tasting your emotions.
right. Yeah.
The cake is well, we know the cake is in the mind, but even on just pure psychological level, who's speaking to somebody who's not the course student, you just say you're tasting your emotional life. You're tasting your psychological perspective. So if you're eating cake, yes, eating cake. You're eating your mom's viewpoint on cake.
Yes.
And my
That,
mom was very confused. I had a very confusing relationship with my parents on food. So I'm eating a lot of confusion. Whenever I eat confusion.
yes.
When I was younger, my parents were very strict about food. So I grew up relating freedom with food. So I ate eating everything I wanted, anything I wanted, junk or not, mainly junk because they were very healthy. Junk food equals freedom. So I ate junk food all the time because I was free.
Yeah.
That's how the mind works.
Yeah.
That's how the brain, the ego mind works. I know what freedom is. Freedom is eating Big Macs all the time. Anytime I want, 'cause I can. Well, not when I was a kid. Parents said, no, you, what I say you can eat.
Yeah. So have you ever actually eaten a Big Mac
Oh yeah, sure.
without guilt, without fear,
Well,
without
I mean, probably. I mean, I feel like I have, but who knows what's going on down deep?
yeah, yeah,
Who knows what I'm really, how I mean, the reactions could happen so many times that I just feel it's a part of me, a part of my personality.
yeah,
I could, in other words, I go back in time. I never have a Big Mac. We'll see what kind of different person I am.
yeah.
I might be a totally different person. You know,
That's funny.
anybody go change that one thing about a person, no Big Mac.
Yeah, yeah.
Person, the whole life is different. Who
Yeah.
knows?
But we're only here doing what we're doing here for the experience, so that God, the fullness, the allness of what is can experience what it is that we're here to experience, what we're
Yep.
doing here.
Yep.
So when he says, "It is I who direct all your thoughts and both cause and enable you to do all that you do," when you can figure that out, then you can comprehend the significance of my words and are quite prepared to obey them. I have hitherto brought to you the experiences that would teach you just these things. But now, if you are ready and worthy, you shall work consciously with me, joyfully yet calmly awaiting each new experience, knowing that in each one are contained marvelous expressions of my meaning, which I will make altogether clear to you, and which will more and more bring you into loving, intimate union with me. So he's saying that's not what he's saying, but he is saying that he's saying that when I am willing to just experience the experience without judgment, without bringing up the past, without bringing something else into it, but just consciously being in this moment with God, consciously experiencing this life in this moment with God. And I get this, really get this because I've started doing this, Wayne. I'm taking a shower with God. I'm washing the dishes with God. I'm bringing God into the situation, not, not as a alternate player or something, but just as here, feel how this feels, look how this looks, smell how this smells, taste how this tastes. Really offering my experience to God.
God is pleasure. God is love. God is these things. God destroys, and then by destroys, God destroys destruction. And that's when we say God is love. God is love as opposed to our type of love, as opposed to our ego love that we are the devil in. So God's love is so much better. So when we allow His love to come into our anything and everything that we do becomes pleasurable.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, but it's so much better than the love that we tend our love comes with pain. Our love comes with fear. Our love comes with suffering. Our
yes,
love is duality. So we can't understand God's love. That's what God's I am. You're not.
yeah,
And that's the key. And then that's the secret behind the whole thing. But he leaves that out on purpose almost
yeah,
for you to figure that out. So I am means I am. God, we were my strength, my power, not your strength and your power.
yeah,
Any prayer you see a prayer when they say, the God, we worship you in your strength and your power, meaning as opposed to our power and our strength.
yeah,
And literally, I mean, but strength still does belong to God, but all strength belongs to God. All strength belongs to God.
yes.
So therefore, anything you tap into any kind of strength, the smallest amount of strength, tapping into strength, infinite strength.
And that's why, everything we're doing, if we agree here now that I'm just going to agree that I'm going to do this with you and I'm not going to do it without you, then all experiences, he says, thus all experiences will hereafter be blessings
Right.
instead of trials and tests or karmic effects of previous acts. For in each will I disclose unto you glorious visions of my reality of your own true wonderful self.
Well, if you know you have a higher purpose,
Yeah,
which is you're here to know your own true self, which is glorious and fantastic. And someone in this generation might poo-poo that. Oh, come on, give me a break. But that's their choice. And one day they might change their minds, and so be it.
yeah,
But if you can get to that place where you realize that there's a higher power And that higher power is essentially you. You either expand or you contract. And there's nowhere else to go. So if you expand, after your body disappears, eventually you'll either grow and become one with everything, or you won't. You become more separate. And that's it. And all becomes how much you love others. If you come from love or fear.
That's it.
Man, it's all right, and everything's right here in this little book.
Ah, 100 years.
Yeah, is that 100 years ago? 100 years ago, back in and so but now if you're ready to worthy, joyfully and calmly awaiting each, every new. I've said this, how many times have I said this? Real true power is the ability to experience anything that comes your way. Power doesn't just have the ability to conquer things; it's the ability to not have to conquer anything.
Yeah.
There's really no need for you to conquer something because you can experience it, no problem. Anything comes your way, okay, oh, that's no problem. I can welcome it. I can just let it be there. Because I know that the work that I've been doing, the connections that I've been making are guiding me. And I can allow them to guide me into each choice that I make. I know will lead me, just like he leads Joseph.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm being led.
That's right.
And you know what? No one understands that God, from the course perspective of this, he'll lead you anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
Because in the essence, if you follow him, as far as you're concerned, you go anywhere he wants you to go. He'll let you lead the way until you give him the reins.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he'll let you lead the way. Because in a sense, there's no danger in that. There's no danger in that at all. The danger is that you're wasting time. But
Well, the fact is you're going there anyway. You're going to be there anyway, whether you like it or not.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're wasting so-called in quote time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so what, right? Because once you wake up. As you say, you're gonna wake up anyway. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, yeah, that there's really, once we recognize what's going on, we realize that nothing happened. Nothing needed to change.
Exactly.
You're
Right.
just exactly where you would have been anyway. And
Exactly.
look here I am.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
when you wake up, whether it's 1,000 years for you to wake up or 2 years to wake up, it make a difference.
Yeah. It doesn't make a difference.
If we're all up, and 1,000 years means nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah, cool.
okay, let's see. So yeah, so you're gonna wake up to the place where you're just gonna be happy, 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 and no matter what appears to be happening, and this is what he's saying here. No matter what appears,
The opposite of historical Christianity. It's so funny.
that's right, that's right.
At least for most people.
Uh, and what was it the other day? Lesson 136, I think is the one that says if you're doing this right, you will feel nothing at all. Your body will have no feeling. You won't feel anything at all. And that's really what we're moving into is a place where we're just the body itself is meaningless to us, and the only thing that we're experiencing is joy.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it's
that's
like
the whole,
you read the philosophy of the Jedi.
yeah,
No feeling with no feeling, but just peace. I think it's
that's it.
one that little thing. So, no feelings, no emotions, just peace. That's one of the things on that little charter or whatever. So the code, the Jedi code.
Yeah,
And then one of the things that no emotions, just peace.
it's peace. Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know what that means, but I guess I've always seen peace as sort of it comes through us as an emotion, but it's really just there.
So what about Spock? Do you think Spock had peace?
yeah, I would say he did.
Pretty much of the time, I think. Yeah.
Most of the time he did a piece.
Yeah.
And it was logic was his sort of his way. It was certainly his law of God, sort of. He used it for everything.
Yeah.
He used it for absolutely everything, even to figure everything out. Logic.
Yep.
There's no question. No question you could ask him. I mean, it was illogical for him to think that anything can be figured out through logic.
Yeah. Well, and because logic is like, 1 + 1 = 2.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Now,
there's no
did that
variation allowed or available.
right? It doesn't mean it's correct that the universe is set up mathematically. It is that it can be, and if it is, we can figure anything out. I mean, there are those people who say the universe is not necessarily set up mathematically.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's actually equal to something else. Everything is slightly different than everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah.
1 + 1 = 2 is implying that everything is actually exactly the same as everything else. But you say
Yeah.
one thing and there's another thing, you don't have two things. You have three separate things or two separate things.
Yeah. Equality implies that.
Right, exactly. So you don't have you have two things. These two things don't equal that thing, three. Two things equals two things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people say, not a lot of people say, there's people say who don't believe mathematically. The mathematical universe just means you can pretty much predict everything.
Yeah.
And we do. We can predict most things, but until you get to a certain point where math seems to fall apart.
Yeah. Who was I listening? I was listening to somebody the other day, a person who was not a, a scientist, but a spiritual person, and they had a periodic table up on their wall, and they were saying, this thing is so delightful. This brings me so much joy because, I can look at and see that they were able to, even when there wasn't any evidence that something exists, they're able to predict that it should be there because of the gap in the periodic table that implies that it would be there. And all they had to do was go and look and they would find it, which is, I mean, it is interesting. And they were saying that's not exactly what they were saying. They were saying that all of everything in the entire universe is
Is
made
there?
of those elements.
Yeah, that's what I was told. That's what I was told when I was a kid. The periodic table, everything is there.
Yeah, yeah, everything is there.
I didn't realize that, but I was told everything is there.
Yeah,
Well, the whole universe is crazy. I mean, the singularity, the whole universe exists in that singularity, including all the laws of cause and effect.
yeah,
So there was a singularity just sitting there forever, and then suddenly it explodes, but nothing caused it.
yeah. What?
How that happen? I mean, well, there's no laws at all. So I guess the laws, all the laws that we understand, is just in the singularity. So it is just in a lawless place, anything is possible. And that's interesting because that implies that place, the lawless place, is really the only place.
Yes,
And that is what the course says, that we exist in the lawless place. We exist we're in the impossible place,
right.
which is why anything is possible.
That's right.
Which is why when the course says God, all things are possible with God, it's not necessarily a compliment. It's sort of like saying that, well, that's what we invented a lawless, chaotic place.
Yep.
And where anything is possible, where it's absolutely possible that we're here.
Yeah. So according to this, what we're reading, then that the whole point of it, the whole purpose of it, is to allow I am the God being to experience the impossible.
Yeah, to experience lawlessness. Yeah. And that's why if something happens wrong, so what? It's good. Enjoy it. Enjoy what can you do? I mean, you run from it, be scared of it, frightened of it, beat yourself up over it. Love it, enjoy it, play with it, and find pleasure in it, and then move on.
Yep. But love it.
Love it, yeah, love it. I
Yeah,
mean, what
love
else?
it.
We made up of love anyhow, so
Be grateful for it because This is all a gift. That's why they call it the present.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, I'm going to read a little bit more, and then you were going to play a song.
Well, I'll put it that little. It's everybody sleeps. I
Oh,
found
okay,
it.
okay,
You
okay,
know,
good.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
all right, all right. So I'll continue.
Yeah.
This will manifest in many new ways. In your activities, be they what they may be, you will care not what the task, but do whatever lies before you, knowing that is what I require, and striving always and only to please me by your impersonal part in the doing, which enables me thus speedily to accomplish my will. So he's talking about, I think, just me stepping back from my connection or my experience, how I think, what I think, how I feel, whatever about what's going on. Just step back and let it be what it is so that he can experience it through me. uh it really is a different kind of stepping back then, because it's I'm not the doer of the deed. I'm not the experiencer of
Yeah.
the experience.
Yeah. It's sort of everything. Realizing that everything is ego that we experience. Every image is ego.
Yeah,
Doing lesson 14 and realizing that every image that parades across your mind is a part of your collective ego, of hell. Even the pleasurable ones are really part of the problem. We just talked about it. It's a part of this world's pleasure, which comes with pain. This world's love, which comes with fear. It's the duality. Everything you're looking at is part of that duality. Then you move into that other place, which is the love that you were talking about.
yes,
And that other zone, or as the course goes, above the battleground.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
In that
Ex-
place where nothing really can get to us. No. We have a game where you get a card that says protected. No one can touch you.
yeah, yeah, that's what we got here. We got to get out of jail forever.
Forever. Yeah, forever. Right. That's right. Once saved, always saved, as they say in the Bible Belt.
That's it for sure. uh, okay, so I'll just read another paragraph or two,
Uh,
and then we'll go on. In your business, you'll find I am there. In fact, it is I who provide you with such businesses, whatever it may be. Not that in it you can be a success or failure, or the common plodder you are, nor that you can pile up riches for your descendants, or lose all that you have, or never accumulate it all. No. But that through the success or failure or lack of ambition or special ability, I may quicken your heart to realization of me.
this is what he's saying. It counts out the entire prosperity gospel right there.
Yeah,
All right. I mean, it seems what he said there, right there, is I'm not saying I can make you rich. I'm not saying I can make you poor. I'm saying that whatever happens, I'm going to use it to make you love me.
yes, yes,
That whatever happens, whether you're broke or you're rich. I mean, he's obviously behind that too, but that's another story.
yeah,
But whatever happens, I'm going to use it for the betterment of our relationship.
yep, yep. Because not I think a part of it is because what it seems like we've done is that we've turned away from love while we're living in this world. And so we have to be able to find a reason to turn back to love. And that's all we're doing here is finding the way back to the truth of what we are. Uh, and you can only do that through it being impersonal, not taking anything personal here. Nothing is personal here.
That was not even us. Wasn't even here. Yeah.
Mhm.
We're behind the curtain.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
behind, yeah.
Exactly.
All
And
right.
I'm going to put the marker here and I'll stop the share.
Okay. And I'll share sound again. And so I'm prepared.
I have a real cute song I'll play afterwards too.
All right, cool. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's too long. A couple of minutes. All right. So, all right. So that was Joseph Benner, the Impersonal Life. And as usual, it was profound and an absolute pleasure, Lynn. And I'm gonna play a little Pete Holmes, and she has a song for us. Lynn has a song for us, and then we're gonna say goodbye. And so thanks for coming by. And here comes Pete Holmes. Pete Holmes is a comedian. He's a very funny man, and he just does stuff that he just says that I find interesting. I think we all would just find it funny and interesting. So here he is, Pete Holmes, and this is called "Everybody Sleeps." Everybody sleeps.
But whenever I get afraid of a human being, I always remember one simple thing that you can use as well, which is that everybody sleeps. You're welcome. If you are afraid of a person, just remind yourself, they sleep. They sleep. This guy's yelling at me, I got afraid. I just remembered in 5 hours, this same scary man was gonna be like, flipping the pillow to the cool side. Oh, I need it. That's not scary. That is the opposite of scary. What is sleep, though? Seriously, what is it? I know we all do it, but I think it's just another assumption that we all take for granted. We're just like, all right, with your roommate, it's midnight. Gonna go in my room, I'm just gonna lay down, gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna remain. So if you need me, I'll be in there remaining. But what is it? Explain sleep to an alien that doesn't sleep. I couldn't do it. I could explain food. I could be like, I need energy, so I eat an apple so I can use the energy that's in the apple. He'd be like, okay. Anything else? Yeah. At night? Regardless of how much energy I've consumed, I just have to shut it down. I shut it down for like 8, 9, sometimes 12 hours. Sounds boring. I'm like, no, my brain plays movies that I'm in. Sometimes they're scary.
Yeah, that's Pete Holmes.
That's pretty funny.
Sometimes it's scary.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. This is a young lady named Madeline Mai. This is a song that she just came out with. You may or may not have ever heard of her, but this is called "What's Going On," and I'll play it with the video.
All right, cool.
All right, you got the video up? Okay.
Yeah.
They're hiding in plain sight and found all across the galaxy. One could be standing beside you in this very moment. Oh, but don't feel too frightened, my dear friends. For all you know, you too could be one of them. Ooh, so scary. You're scared right now. What's going on, you ask? Behold, the alien amongst men, a severely lonely and anxious person.
Human bone and skin. I'm something smaller staring out the skull with a panel of wire and buttons I don't understand. Spamming every one of them. So does being human mean pretending to know what's going on? What's going on? Take me to your leader. I would like to have a couple words. Get your shit together. How do humans keep on Might be a little bit behind trends and slang in other ways to fit the box, to not be not liked. Once it gets underneath my skin, it's hard to let anyone in again. My walls go up, I'm on defense. My solitude is safer than having friends. Why do I feel alien? I am an alien. My rocket ship is human bone and skin. I'm something smaller staring out the skull through two big eye sockets, and I just don't understand how to become one of them. Does being human mean pretending to be something you're not? What's going on? Take me to your leader. I would like to have a couple words. Get your shit together. How do humans keep on getting worse? I'd go back to space where they've invaded out there too. We're due. I don't want to be here on a body or brain for some night. I don't know who's going anywhere. Wanna go home, where is home though? I don't want to meet her. Associate through another day. I don't know who that is standing in the mirror. Everywhere I look, I'm alone. I am an alien. My rocket ship is human skin and bone. I'm over trying to fit in. Guess I'll always be alone. 'Cause I just don't understand how to become one of them. How do I be one of? How do I be one of you? How do I be one of? How do I be one of you? Is anyone out there? Over. How do I be one of you? How do I be one of? How do I be one of you? How do I be one of? I'm talking to myself, aren't I?
Good stuff.
What do you think about that? That's
That was great. That was great. That was an awesome song.
this
I
is what
didn't know where it was going. I didn't know where it was going.
yeah. Yeah, it didn't go where you thought it was, huh?
No, no, not at all. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot, though. It was a great song. It was a great song.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it. Anything else you want to, anything, before we go? Anything else for us? Anything?
Nope, I am
No. Yeah.
having a happy day so far today.
All
I put
right.
that link to that in the chat, so if you
Okay,
want to
good.
check it out, she's delightful. She's got some really delightful music, but
Okay.
it just amazes me. This is a young girl.
Yeah.
These are young people that are, all is not lost.
Oh, no, no, no. Definitely they're out there. Yeah. They're out there. You know, you know. I mean, the far in between. But yeah, it had to be that way because most people are just most people.
Exactly,
You can't have
exactly.
you can't have who was it? Machiavelli who said, you know, most Americans have to remain average
Yeah,
for it to work.
yeah,
And so I mean, I'll be one of the average ones, and let somebody else decide that they want me to be special.
that's right. I love it. Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah, I want to be special. That's the last thing you'll be. Yeah,
Yep, we're all special. We're all doing
that,
exactly
that's
what we're here to
something.
do.
I told my kid that
Yeah,
everyone's
as
special.
long Yeah, if I'm being used to do God's work, hey,
Everyone, you're special just like everyone else.
yeah, just like everyone else. I love you.